What's up guys, I'm Roderick, aka Rodman, and welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the best spell from every Souls game. Magic builds are some of the best and most OP builds that you can do in the Souls series, but which spells are you going to want to use to optimize your damage and your utility? If you like retro video gaming, anime, and gameplay videos, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more content just like this. So let's get right into the video. So without a doubt, the best spell in Demon Souls is definitely going to go to Firestorm. This is one of those spells where it completely obliterates any boss, any enemy in the game, and also it completely melts people in PvP as well. So it's not slacking on any area in Demon Souls. What Firestorm is it's pretty much it's what the name says. It's a firestorm. It's an AoE fire attack that has a super wide radius. It has like fire pillars shooting up from the ground. It's really dope. It's really strong. The only downside, I guess, to it, and I guess this is for any spell, is that it has a little bit of a charge up time because your player model has to crouch to the ground and, you know, summon the fire and whatnot. But this spell is extremely good to the point where I don't even think you should really use it. It's kind of too perfect. It does everything. It can hit, you know, an entire room of enemies. It does a crazy amount of damage. It does cost a lot of FP though. I guess that's another downside, but with the potency of this spell, that's what you're going to expect, right? But that's what I believe the best spell in Demon Souls is definitely going to Firestorm. So let's go ahead and move on to Dark Souls 1. So for the best spell in Dark Souls 1, this was actually a little bit difficult because there are a lot of good healing spells like Soothing Sunlight and a lot of really good pyromancy spells that you can use. In my personal opinion, I believe that pyromancy is probably the single most broken build that you can do in Dark Souls 1. But I'm not going to go with any of those. I am actually going to go with the Homing Crystal Soul Mass. Why do I believe that it's so broken? It does an extreme amount of damage, and like it says in the name, it homes in on the enemy. And this is actually very interesting because the Homing Crystal Soul Mass is actually a reoccurring spell in literally every Souls game, every like mainline Souls game, and it's good in every single game. And I think that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like an in-game spell. It's very, very good. It's really shines in PvP, even though you can, it's not hard to dodge or anything. It's just something else you gotta look to dodge. If you get hit by it, you pretty much get one shot. But I was between putting this and Soothing Sunlight, but since you already have Estus Flask, I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Homing Crystal Soul Mass. So let's go ahead and move on to Dark Souls 2. So for Dark Souls 2, I am gonna go with the Crystal Soul Spear. This is kind of similar to the Homing Crystal Soul Mass in the fact that it is homing, kinda. It will automatically go to whatever target that you are locking onto, which, believe it or not, a lot of spells in the Soul series don't do that. But this spell is an absolute monster, and the thing is, magic is utterly broken. I said before that magic is really broken in the Soul series, but it really shines in Dark Souls 2. That's probably the single best build that you can do in the entire game, is a magic build. You will not have problems with any boss in the game at all. You can just stand back and just use your magic, right? But the reason why I believe that the Crystal Soul Spear is so good is it comes out really, really fast. It comes out extremely fast and it does a crap ton of damage. It's really good in PvP. It's really good in PvE. And if you're doing a magic build, you already know how amazing this spell is. So for Dark Souls 2, I believe the best spell is definitely going to the Crystal Soul Spear. It's too fast and too strong not to be in the number one spot. So let's go ahead and move on to Dark Souls 3. So for the best spell in Dark Souls 3, I'm definitely going to go with the Soul Stream. I really think this spell is really, really good. And it really shines in PvE, like the regular base game of Dark Souls 3 is really good in PvP as well. But you will melt absolutely any boss in the game by using this one spell. And I think it looks really cool too. It's pretty much a Kamehameha, but in Dark Souls. It's really, really dope to me. It has crazy, crazy long reach, crazy long range. And the kicker for me is it doesn't take that much FP to use at all. Especially, obviously, you're doing a faith build, intelligence build. You're going to be putting your points in FP and stuff like that. So you're going to be able to spam this move. But that's what I think the best spell is in Dark Souls 3. So let's go ahead and move on to Bloodborne. So Bloodborne and spells don't really mix. Bloodborne combat system is pretty much melee. That's pretty much it. You're not going to be using spells in Bloodborne, and there's not really any spells in Bloodborne either. And I was going to leave Bloodborne off this list, but there are some abilities that you can use that do scale off faith. So I believe the best one has to be the empty, and excuse me if I'm pronouncing this wrong, Phantasm Shell. The reason why I believe this is so good is because I believe it's the most versatile of the bunch. Because, for example, let's say I don't want to use a faith build in Bloodborne, which you're not going to. Most of the beasts and the bosses in this game are weak to faith. So if you're doing a strength build, you can use the empty Phantasm Shell and you can pretty much put faith on your weapon. So your weapon will do faith damage alongside, serrated damage. I think that is so good for this game, especially for a game where you're not going to be, standing in the corner spamming fireballs. You're going to be up close and personal with these bosses, and you're not going to want to use a faith build. So the ability to put faith on your weapon is too valuable. I was going to say the old Hunter's Bone because it makes your dodging iframes. It gives you more iframes, but you can just spam dodge in Bloodborne since the combat is so fast. But that's what I believe the best quote-unquote spell is in Bloodborne. I'm definitely going with the empty Phantasm Shell. So let's go ahead and move on to Elden Ring, since Sekiro doesn't really have spells at all. So I don't want to be lame here, but this is undeniably the best spell in Elden Ring 2. I hate to say it, but it's literally Kama Azure, and if you haven't recognized from the video, it is the same thing as the Soul Stream from Dark Souls 3. And honestly, in Elden Ring, it's even better because it goes longer. The reach is longer, and it also, when you use it, you can use it for longer, which obviously equals more damage, which is absolutely crazy. Now, there's one drawback to this, and it uses an extreme amount of FP. But guess what? You have something called Mimic Tier, and Mimic Tier doesn't have FP. What does that mean? that means that you can spam. It's absolutely crazy. But that's what I think the best spells are in the Soul series. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more content just like this. Rawman out. Peace.